combine some images together to form one single sprite. So I'm going to begin with this photograph of a car, and I'm going to take a couple of characters, this fox and this elk, and add them into the car as the passengers. So to start with, I'm going to cut out the car and put this into a new image with a transparent background. So we'll use some of the same techniques that I used in the previous video with the different selection tools to do that. For the car, I think that the Bezier curve selection tool would be a good place to start. So I'm going to begin with that. So we've got the selection there, and I'm going to go ahead and copy it. Go ahead and create a new document using the clipboard image. And paste it right here with all this, with a transparent background. And of course, again, there is cleanup that I can do with this, but for this one, I think I'm just going to leave it as is and continue on adding the characters in. And we'll see how it looks once I've actually shrunk it down to size. Now, this image is actually a little bit too small for what I want, because I'm going to bring my two passengers in, and they're going to end up their heads going a little bit above the top of the image. So we'll go up to Image and do the Resize Canvas command. I'll set the anchor point to the bottom right here. The height right now is 1190. Let's put this up to just 1500. So that'll give me a little bit of extra space. You can see that it's filled it in with white, which was something that I could set in the canvas settings to be something different. I'm going to use my my selection tool right here and just pick that and clear it, so I can get rid of it and just have a clean background. And I'll go up to deselect that. All right, so now let's go over to the fox, and we can go ahead and add him in. And then we'll copy the selection, go back over to our new file, and paste him in. See, he's a little bit too large, so we'll use the transform tool. Right here, to shrink him down. I'm going to use Shift to constrain proportions. And once I've got a size that I like, I'll go ahead and hit Enter. Now, to make it look like it's really more inside the car, I'm going to take layer 2 right here. I'm going to first just name this Fox so that I can keep them straight. I'll take layer 1, call that Car, and I'm going to take the Fox layer and actually move it underneath the car layer so that he's behind the door of the car and sticking out. I may need to scale him down a little bit more later on, but I'll just leave him there for right now. I'll go over to my elk. In this image, I think we definitely can use this magic wand contiguous selection tool to get rid of a lot of this white background, and then use the freehand lasso tool to select a bunch of this area and get rid of it. So I'm going to do this work by deleting the background directly out of the image, just for a little bit of a change in process right here. So I'm going to select this white area and go up to Edit and Clear, and then do the same with these other areas. And again, the shortcut for that is the backspace key. So now I can also go through and actually just simply delete a bunch of this part of the image. So I'm going to use the lasso selection again here. And this time it's to select this part of the elk's body and just clear that so it becomes transparent. Do a little bit of cleanup down here at the bottom. You can see there's a little bit more to get rid of. And there we go. So I've got now actually a pretty nice cleaned up image for his head. Here I can just use the rectangular selection to go ahead and pick him. Go up to edit and copy, and then go over to my new file over here and paste him in. Using the move tool to move around, again you can see he's much too large. So I'll go back to the transform tool. Select that image and scale him down. Here we can see, again, the canvas isn't quite large enough, so I'm going to go back up to Image, Resize Canvas, again constraining or anchor my image to the bottom, and then up under Height, let's change the height to 1800 pixels. So I'll give myself a little bit more extra space to work with. Again, I've accidentally created a white fill in the new area of the canvas in the car layer. So I'm going to want to go up here and select that and get rid of it. I'm going to clear the selection. So now we've got enough clearance for as far as horns. Now he is facing the wrong way, so let's go down to that layer. Rename it elk, and then go to the layer menu, go to transform, and choose mirror layer horizontally. So now he's facing the right way. We can move him over here, and then take the fox. The fox looks a little bit too large now, so I'm going to go down, and I'm also going to rotate him a little bit so he's facing up a little bit more. Now I might want to change the order. Let's see how that looks if I put the fox on top of the elk layer. So that appears to be in front. And try rotating them in different angles. Really until you find something that looks good. So I'm going to go up here and save this now. We're going to call this road trip.kra. And now we know the full dimensions that we have. We can actually crop off the top a little bit more, like so. Let's use the crop tool, bring that in, hit enter when I'm done. We'll save it again, and then I'm going to go and scale the image because of course now it's much too high. So the image sizes that I've been using are about a height of around 200 pixels high for the sprites for these other graphics. So I'll do the same again for this one. So the height's 200 and the width is 558. I'll change my zoom back to 100 so we can 100% so we can see what that's going to look like. And then I'll choose export, and I will call it roadtrip.png. Just for comparison, let's go back in here and open up my street scene repeating file so I can see what this is going to look like against that background. I'll go over to my road trip file, go to select all, and I'm going to choose copy merged, which is going to copy the image not just from the current layer, which is the fox, but it's going to copy everything. So it's sort of a copy of everything that's currently visible in all the layers. So now if I go back to this repeating street scene, go to edit and paste. Now we can see what our what that car looks like. Let's go to 100% so we'd see what that would look like at full size in game. And for that looks pretty good relative to the background there.